Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to start our lecture on Python. In this lecture, I am going to give you a brief overview about Python and what are its pluses and minuses. Now, first thing arises, ma'am, what is Python? So, what do you understand with the first thing? What is Python? I'm asking you. It's a snake or something? No, it's not a snake. It's a high-level language, which is Python. Okay. So what is a high level language? In our earlier unit, we learned about different types of programming languages that are assembly language, machine language or high level languages. Assembly language or the machine language are the low level languages which are directly understood by the computer. Whereas high level language are end user languages. You can say that programmers or human beings can easily recognize that language because it is easy to understand. Now the first thing arises, Python. So Python is a high level language. What kind of high level language? Python is a general purpose high level language. Why we are saying it as a general purpose high level language? Because we can use it in any purpose. In our unit first, we learned about general purpose software where we are using those softwares in multitasking. Same case with Python. Python is also a general purpose language. It can be used in any area of research or you can say education field, anywhere. For example, if you want to say, ma'am, shall I develop a game with the help of Python? Yes, you can develop a game with the help of Python. Ma'am, shall I use it in artificial technology? Yes, you can use it there. Ma'am, shall I develop a software with it? Yes, you can develop a software. Ma'am, shall I use it with robot? Yes, you can. Ma'am, may I use it in data science? Yes, you can. So Python is a general purpose language. You can use it anywhere and in any area of your life. Now next thing, who developed Python? So the person over here, you can see the picture over here of a person who is named Guido von Rossum developed Python. And in which year he developed Python? He developed Python in 1989. Yes, it is developed earlier than Java. He developed Python while working at National Research Institute at Netherlands. Now, when Python become officially made to public, it officially become available to public in 1991. So its official date of birth is February 20th, 1991. So Python was developed in 1989. It is a general purpose high level language and officially it made available to public in 1991. Now, it is recommended as a first programming language for beginners. Why it is recommended as first programming language for beginners? For suppose you are working on Java or C++ and you want to add two numbers. You are having a two numbers as 2 plus 3. Okay. If you want to add these numbers in Java or C++, you have to write the code for approx 5 to 10 lines. Whereas in Python, you have just need to write 2 plus 3 and you get the output as 5. So it is a very easy language. Very easy to learn. That's why it is recommended as the first programming language for beginners. Next thing, from where Python is influenced from. Why we are saying it as very high level language? So it is influenced by the ABC language. ABC language is the first language which was developed. After that, it gets its functional programming from C. So you can say that, ma'am, is a Python functional language? Yes, Python is a functional programming language. What do you understand by the word functional programming? When the code is divided into functions, or you can say the chunks of code to make a complete unit of code, then it is a functional programming language and it is taking this feature from C. Its object-oriented feature means what is happening, basically focusing on data. It is taken from C++. Now scripting, yes, it's a scripting language which is from Perl and Shell, and after that modular programming, that means making modules in it, which is taken from Modular 3. So Python is basically influenced from these programming language, which is ABC, then C, C++, Perl and Shell, Modular 3. So in wholesome, you can say that Python is having features of all the programming language. So it is easy to apply it any area of our life. Now, ma'am, why Python is named as Python? Because we all, same case Java was developed from the flavor of a coffee. So Python was named after the famous BBC comedy show Monty Python's Flying Circus, which was broadcasted on BBC from 1969 to 1974. Okay. Now, can anyone tell me which is logo of Python. Yes, you can see it over here. This is the logo of Python. Why it is logo of Python? The logo of Python tells us that it is extensible, or you can extend it any area, and it is flexible to use in any arena of life. Now, you can see our example. I have taken the example from Java. So this is the code from Java, which which you can see over here. I have written for first Hello World program. Okay, Hello World program is the first program or the basic program which was developed in any language when we start the language. So you can see we are having a class over here. Then you have to write public static void main. After that you have to write for the output system.out.println. So this is approx a 5-line code over here to create a Hello World program. Whereas in Python you have just need to write print Hello World, and you can write Hello World. You get the output Hello World. So that's why Python is so easy to learn. It's a very easy language, and we are going to learn it. Now, next topic, Python positives, or you can say what are the advantages of Python or the features of Python. First feature is simple and easy to use. Why we are saying it is simple and easy to use? It's a very simple programming language because it is having English-like statement. Okay, it is having English-like statement. For example, you want to assign a value to a variable. Okay, we are having a, just like in maths, we are assigning variable a value a is equal to 10. So you just need to write a is equal to 10, and Python can understand that 10 value is assigned to variable a. It is having a very simple syntax. Syntax means the code in which we are going to write the language, or you can say it's a. So it is having a less number of LOC. LOC means line of codes. Because of this thing, if you want to assign a variable a value in Java or C, C++, then you have to write approx 5 lines code, whereas in Python we have to just write only 3 words. A is equal to 10. So that's why it is having a very less line of code. So it is very simple and easy to use, due to which it increases the readability and simplicity of a language, and we can reduce the development and cost of the project. Next point we are having is free and open source. What do you understand by the free and open source? Free means you have no need to pay anything or any cost for it, and open source means its source code is available to you. If you want to change something in that, you can change it. Okay. So its source code is open and it is free. Freeware means when a source code of a language is available to you and it is free of course, then the software comes in freeware. Okay. So you can use Python, you have no need to use any license for it, and you can develop it in according to your ways. For example, JPython, which is a customized version of Python to work for Java applications. Now, as we all know that Python is a high level language, so it is very programmer friendly. As I told you here, if you want to assign a value a is equal to b, that means it is a is equal to b. You have no need to tell Python that whether it is an integer or it is a decimal value or it is a string. It is easily understandable by the Python that it is an integer. Okay, next one is platform independent. So what do you understand by the platform independent? And you can say that is a cross-platform language. What are you saying? It is a cross-platform language. Once we write a Python program, it can run on any platform without rewriting it. Any platform means it can run on Windows, Linux, Unix, Macintosh, and any smartphones also. So that's why it is a platform independent language, which makes it a programmer friendly language. Being a programmer, we are not required to concentrate any low level activities like memory management or security, because it is already provided by the Python. Next one is portability, migrating from one platform to another. Once a Python program is compiled, or you can say it is interpreted basically, so it provides the same result on any platform, whether you are running that program on Windows or Unix or any other else. Next one, it is dynamically typed. What we understand with the word dynamically typed, that means there is no need to require or declare a type of variable. For suppose I'm using any other language which are statically typed, Java, C, all are statically typed. Now, for suppose I'm assigning a variable a and value 10. Okay, so if I'm doing it in C or Java, then I have to write int, because I have to first describe it, that is an int type of variable. Then I have to write int a is equal to 10. Okay, Whereas in Python, I can only write a is equal to 10. That's why it is dynamically typed, because it understands what kind of variable it is. Whenever we are assigning the value based on a value, type will be allocated automatically. Okay. Now next thing, this feature, the dynamic typing nature, will provide more flexibility to the programmer. Next one, it is both processor and object oriented. Why I am saying it is both processor and object oriented? Because it supports a processor oriented feature like C and Pascal, and object oriented feature like C++ and Java. Because of this, we get both the features of security and reusability. As from procedure oriented, that means how a program is working, it is coming from C. And object oriented, what it is going on, you can easily reuse it, so it is reusability. Okay. Next one, interpreted. What we understand by the word interpreted, I told you in the earlier chapter or the earlier unit. What is interpreter? The interpreter is a translator, the language processor, which convert the high level language into assembly of the machine language line by line. So in Python, the code is compiled line by line. Okay, not in a single go. Okay, we are not required to compile Python programs explicitly. Internally, Python interpreter will take care of the compilation. Okay, if compilation fails, it raises the error just like in every language. But once the compilation success, the Python virtual machine is responsible for the execution. Next one is extensible. What do you understand the word extensible? It is, we can use any other language programs in Python. For example, we are creating a program in Java or C, then we can use it in Python also just by a already existing legacy non-Python code. Or we know that we are having a flavor JPython for Java versions. Okay. So now I think we'll revise it again. So Python, first one is, it is simple and easy to use. Next, it is free and open source. Next one is high level language. After that, it is platform independent. Then portability, dynamically typed, both process and object oriented, less interpreted and extensible. Okay, so we are moving on towards our next topic, which is Python negatives. Since everything comes with a positive, also have some negatives also. It is not the fastest language. Why it is not the fastest language? Because this language is having interpreter, not the compiler. So if a line is having a wrong syntax or the wrong semantic, it is stopped there. Okay, till you remove the error. So that's why it is not fastest. Next one, it is not using for mobile applications. Last, it is not strong on type binding, since it is a positive thing also, that is a dynamically type bind, but it is also a negative thing for it. Why it is negative? Because Python interpreter is not very strong on catching type mismatch. For example, if I declare a variable integer, I declare a variable a is equal to 10. Okay, after that, I'm giving some value to a as a is equal to Sita. Okay, so it will change the referencing of a from 10 to Sita. Instead telling or complaining it about it that you have earlierly declared it as integer, it directly make it as string. So it is also a negative part here. Next one, we are having flavors of Python. What do you understand the flavors? That is, it is attached with the other programming languages. For example, we are having CPython. It is a standard flavor of Python on which we will work also. It can be used to work with C language application. That's why it is CPython. Next one, we are having Jython or JPython, which is used with Java. Okay, it can also run on JVM. Next, we are having IronPython. IronPython is used for C#.NET platform. We are having another language .NET platform. So for that, we are having IronPython. After that, we are having PyPy, which is having JIT compiler or the Java compiler. After that, we are having RubyPython for Ruby. And last one is Anaconda Python, which we are going to use in our next chapter. And it is especially designed for handling large volume of data. It is especially designed for handling large volume of data. For data science purpose, you can say that. Now we are having versions of Python. First version was released in January 1994, Python 1.0. Then Python 2.0 in 2000. After that we are having Python 3.0 in 2008. Now the current version which is going on of Python is Python 3.8.2, which is available in February 2020. Note, one thing people have to note that Python 3 won't provide backward compatibility. Means if there is a program which is in Python 2, doesn't confirm that it will run in Python 3 also, because it is not having backward compatibility. We'll revise our topics again. First one, what is Python? Okay, Python is a general purpose high level language. Why it is general purpose? Because we can use it in any area of life. Next, it was developed by Guido von Ross in 1989. Officially made available to public in 1991. Recommended as first programming language for beginners. Influenced by ABC language, functional programming from C, object-oriented programming from C++, scripting from Perl and Shell, modular programming from Modular 3. It was named after the famous BBC comedy show Monty Python's Flying Circus, which was broadcasted on BBC from 1969 to 1974. After that, we are having example of a program which was in Java and then which was in Python. So we are easily able to understand that why Python is a very easy language to understand. Then we are having a Python positives, which is it is simple and easy to use. Okay, why it is simple and easy to use? Because it is having English-like statement, simple syntax, less number of line of code. It is free and open source. Free and open source means we have no need to pay anything for it. Open source means its source code is available to us. Next, it is a high-level language. That means it is a programmer-friendly. Programmer can easily understand the language, what it is written in the code. Next, it is platform independent. That means it can run on any platform, whether it is Windows, Mac, Unix, Linux, anywhere. Next one, it is portable. Migrate from one platform to another. For suppose I developed a Python program on Windows and I want to run that program on Linux or Unix, then I can run that. Okay, that's why it is portable. Next one, it is dynamically typed, because if we are assigning a is equal to 10, that Python is easily understanding that it is an integer type of variable. So it assigns that a is an integer type of variable. There is no need to write int or anything else. Just write a is equal to 10. After that, we are having both procedure and object oriented. Procedure means how a work is done. Object oriented, what is going on. Because of this, it presents the feature of security and reusability. Next one is interpreted. It is not required to compile the programs explicitly. That means we doesn't require any compiler explicitly to compile the programs. It's Python interpreter inbuilt in it. Okay, and what is interpreter? It runs or compile the code in line by line format. Next one is extensible. Extensible means we can extend it or use another language with the Python programs to extend its libraries or use it in various areas. Next, we are having Python negatives. It is not the fastest because it is using interpreter, and interpreter is slow because it is interpreting the code line by line. Next one is not using for mobile application, but people are working on it. Next one, it is not strong on type binding, because once I assign the value a is equal to 10, that means it is an integer type variable. But after that, if I am assigning a is equal to theta, then it becomes a string variable. So sometimes it becomes an error because it can't complain about it. Okay, next we are having flavors of Python. C Python, because it is developed for C applications. We are going to first work on the C Python. Then we are having J Python or Java Python, developed for Java, Iron Python for .NET, PyPy for JIT compilers, Ruby Python for Ruby. Okay, last one is Anaconda Python. Anaconda Python is basically developed for the huge data volume or to manipulate the huge data volume. Okay, so we have to work firstly on C Python. After that, we will go for Anaconda Python. Now the versions of Python. Till now we have 3 versions of Python. Python 1.0, which was available in 1994. Then 2000 we are having Python 2.0. In 2008 we are having 3.0. Now the current version which we are having presently is Python 3.8.2, which was available in February 2020. So children, thank you for today's lecture. Tomorrow we will start working on Python.